This week, we have got another incredible guest, and today it is our beautiful Gemma, and she's going to tell us all about her journey with us on the one-to-one diet. So, Gemma, welcome to our podcast, Fuck the Diet Cycle, with myself, Lauren Knight, and Abby Lodge. This is for you if you want to cut through the diet industry bullshit and finally end that cycle. Grab yourself a cuppa, get comfy, and let's dive straight in, shall we? Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, your journey, and how you're feeling right now?
Yes, I can. Hello, ladies. Thank you for having me. Basically, I think, Lauren, this is probably the third third and final journey I've been on with you, isn't it? Because I joined twice before and then kind of went off the radar, and this time I have actually stuck to it and basically got a lot further than what I've ever gotten before, and feeling so much better and more confident and happier with myself about that.
So how much have you lost? When did you start? What was your kind of routine? You said you've been on twice before. Tell us a little bit about like what made you kind of go on and off before.
I think what made me personally go on and off before was I'd fallen into the cycle of like the yo-yo dieting, the binge eating, and then getting to a point where I was like, I've got to do something about this, and then just that horrible cycle that we've all been in, and I just kept joining and then losing the weight and then thinking, oh, that's it, I'm fixed. And then I would go quiet or I disappear, and just not show my accountability. And that has been a major factor for me in this particular journey.
Yeah, so that for so many people, for so many of our listeners, like what you've just explained is good. It's so many people. I was the exact same. You'd start something and never really finish it, or like a lot of people with this plan kind of will lose the weight. Like, for example, if you're going on holiday, want to drop a stone, whatever. Oh, I've dropped a stone, fantastic. Gonna go on holiday and live my best life. Yeah, fantastic. And then they moan, oh, I'm putting it all back on, because they never do that reverse dieting process that we focus so hard on to then get people to actually finish their journeys, because so many people just think a weight loss journey is simply losing the weight. It's not. Like, obviously we work really, really closely together, myself and Lauren, to help people end that diet cycle by actually reverse dieting back out and letting you kind of experience that food freedom world that myself and Lauren, kind of already experience. So how much have you lost?
So I've lost 2 stone 2 pound.
Amazing.
she has done absolutely amazing. And I just want to add on to what you was just saying about your previous journeys. So when you came to me before, it was typically in January. You'd come to me in between the new year and January, ready to start January, and it'd be like, right, I'm starting the new year. I want to get this weight off. Like, I've set my goal. And you were an A-star slimmer. You would get the job done, and then you'd get to where you want to be. And you're right, that would be it. You'd be like, oh, I'm off on my merry way. And you just wasn't interested in seeing that through, because you were a typical dieter who looked at it as right, okay, I know it works. It gets the weight off, makes me feel good again, but I'm not actually going to change long term because I feel like it's fixed when I get to that point. This time, you have come in, and when you got back in touch, because it's been a few years, you got back in touch and you was like, right, I want to do it properly this time. Lauren, what does that entail? What has that looked like for you?
It's looked like daunting at first, because I didn't really understand, and it may sound a bit silly to people, but I just didn't understand the whole changing your mindset process. And I just can't stress enough how important that is and how important that's been for me, because I've had years of just being overweight or not feeling comfortable, and then, like you say, lose the weight, and then just don't go back to how I was before. And it's all these just old habits basically that die hard. Now it's just the tasks that I'm set, changing the mindset, and obviously it's not an overnight fix. You have to work on yourself. You have to want to change the mindset. And for me this time round, that's what's been so important, and that's why I feel I've done so much better than what I've ever done before.
Yeah, and you really have. Like, you've really come in committed. Like, from that first call, he was like, right, chuck it at me. Whatever it is that needs to be done, I'll do it. And even if you didn't at the time really understand why you was doing it, you did it anyway. And then what we found is a few weeks down the line, you're like, oh my God, I can see why I did that now, because it's just happened, or I'm using it. And without blowing mine and Abby's trumpet here, which I'm going to anyway, this podcast, what has it meant to you?
Oh my God, I absolutely loved it. And to the point, girls, I will go for a walk on my lunch break, like my hour's walk, and I just keep listening and re-listening and going over and over all the various different podcasts that you've done, because it just makes so much sense, and you feel that you're not alone on the journey. Like when you and Abs are talking and we're all listening, it is like you're just talking to me personally, like we're mates having a chat, but what you say makes so much sense, and you just feel, oh, you've gone through it too, and you understand exactly what I've been through or what I'm going through, and that makes such a difference as well. I mean, the fact that they're funny as well, I like that. It speaks to you, it just makes you feel like, yeah, I can do this, and I'm not alone, and I can reach out to you and ask you anything, and I know that you're not going to judge, and you're not going to be like, oh, for God's sake, we've been through this. But for me, it's listening all the time and keep going over them just to make it sink in for me.
That is amazing, and the fact that you are our biggest fan, just adds to it. Can you? So obviously you have done amazing. This time is your third and final time. You're going to get to go, you're going to get to maintenance, you're going to live your food freedom life. What is one major thing that you have achieved since losing your weight?
I think for me, it's been a confidence thing. It's been about feeling much more comfortable in my skin, in my clothes. Just feeling like I don't want to hide away. Like, I know you girls have spoken before about wearing like all black, or not really wanting to show yourself, or hiding behind other people when you're having pictures taken and things like that. But it's changed my mindset in that sense as well. Like, I don't mind jumping into a picture now and again. I do want to wear clothes that are not big and baggy, and not necessarily to show off my newfound figure, but just because I feel more comfortable, I feel more confident. I'm not shying away, like trying to be invisible or not wanting people to, notice me. So yeah, that's one of the major things, the confidence.
Well, actually, sorry, Ab, we just need to add to that story. Otherwise, she's not going to share it. She'll keep it quiet. When we was first talking about your Christmas party, right, see, when we were first talking about Gemma's Christmas party, we were talking about outfits, and I said to her, right, let's start thinking about your wardrobe. Let's start thinking about what you're going to wear. And you're like, oh, yeah, well, I might wear a skirt that I've already got, or, you wasn't really excited about it. And I was like, well, hold on a minute. You've changed so much. Like, why are we not excited about this anymore? And you was kind of like, well, I still can't see it. Still can't see it. Not allowing myself to see it. And I was like, nope, we need to do a bit of window shopping, online shopping, go through your wardrobe, whatever it is. I want to know what the options are for your Christmas do. She was like, wow, okay, fine. But what did you end up wearing to your Christmas party?
I ended up wearing a jumpsuit that I had already bought previously in the wardrobe, still had the label on. And when I first bought that jumpsuit, it just wasn't, it was quite snug, and I just didn't feel comfortable, and it was just a big no-no. And I hadn't tried it on since I'd been on the journey. And then I decided to give it a go, and it was just, well, I really felt so comfortable in it. I got comments on the night that I was out as well, saying that the colour suited me and it looked really nice. And yeah, it was hard to believe that I actually felt that comfortable and confident in it. So yeah.
Well, believe it because you did it. And that for so many people, it speaks volumes to so many people because, like you said, hiding away, not wanting, putting on the baggy clothes, and like, yeah, okay, you've lost the weight, but it does take a while. However much weight you lose, it takes a while for your brain to actually physically kind of catch up because we're so used to looking in that mirror and going, oh, I hate that, picking this apart, pulling that apart. And then when you have an event and Lauren's like, no, let's get excited, you're like, well, I can't see it. And then you obviously try something on. And that's why we say to people, try on the damn clothes, like, because you will be so shocked when you try it on and think, shit, is that me? Like, have I done that? And to then wear it to your Christmas party, like, that must have then kind of propelled you forwards to be like, wow, I'm doing this time and this is going to be me. We go on a lot about like your future self and all things like that. Like that was a look into your future of I can walk into a room wearing what I want, holding my head high, not kind of like, oh, don't look at me, no eye contact. Yeah, this is me. This is who I am. Take it or leave it. I love that. Well done, you.
Thank you.
Sorry, I just realised I'd muted myself. I've got hiccups, people, not what you need when you're recording a podcast. Okay, so Gemma, you've had quite a few social situations in your journey, and from the off, we said, I don't want you to avoid them. I don't want you to avoid these social scenarios because it's the only way you're going to learn. Now, we had a lovely one for your birthday. We had quite a few for Christmas, and I think we've had a few bits and pieces in between, like smaller ones as well. And every single time you made sure that you came to me and we spoke about it. Why did you do that?
I think I was just very nervous about telling people, friends and family, that I am on this journey because as you girls have discussed before on podcasts, like I didn't want the unwanted opinions. I didn't want people to say to me, oh, why are you doing that? Or why are you want to, oh, it's silly. I just wanted to be on this journey and just focus and not have to give the whys and the what fors, and because people, they mean well, but they do love to give their opinion on a weight loss journey or a diet. So yeah, I needed to reach out to you, Lauren, and speak to you about it because I wasn't sure how to approach the situation, the social situations, what to say to people, how to come across, really.
Yeah. And when you put the things in place that we spoke about, how did that make you feel? And was the reaction from people around you different to what you had been telling yourself? Better, worse, whatever? Like, what did you find across these social settings?
I think I found, for me personally, that I was overthinking it way too much. And I think that once I'd sort of told people, friends and family, colleagues, that I'm on this weight loss journey, I'm doing things a little bit differently to, the usual yo-yo dieting that I was doing. I just need to be left to do my thing. And I was sort of quite firm but friendly about it. They kind of just was like, oh, okay. And it wasn't really that much of a big deal. But for me, I built it up in my head so much that I was scared to sort of say something at first. But I think once people know, if they love you and respect you, then it doesn't really bother them.
Yeah.
No, but like you say, you was worried, because everybody does have an opinion. Let's face it. Like, it doesn't matter what you can do, whatever. They're going to have an opinion. But for so many people, sorry, on a weight loss journey, they will make it up in their head that, they're going to do this, do that, that, it's going to cause absolute chaos for their family or their friends, that they're sabotaging themselves by kind of telling themselves this is how it's going to be, but by actually kind of believing in what you're doing, knowing that you're going to be successful, staying true to yourself and going in and kind of holding your head high and say, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm choosing to do, not kind of, oh, I can't have that because I'm on a diet, you know, that kind of like scenario. People go, oh, I respect you for that. And if people don't, and I say this to a lot of people, if people are going to make a problem out of it, it's because they're reflecting onto you their own insecurities, and they're probably thinking, oh, shit, I wish I could do that, you know. But then they it's a jealousy thing. But holding your head high and going, leave me to it, you know. I know, like for myself and Lauren, like we're pretty opinionated, not, you know, and we'll kind of say it how it is. So I'm like, when I was on my journey, say what you want. Say what you want. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm going to do. Take it or leave it. You don't like it, off you go, or you support me. And then obviously people are like, oh, and then they see the weight coming off and they're like, I want a bit of that.
Yeah.
I want to be doing what you're doing.
Exactly
like,
that.
yeah.
And I think as well, you've hit the nail on the head, both of you there. It's the approach, it's the way that you approach it. So if you were to go in and not believe in yourself or not believe in the program, and you kind of go in making these half-hearted excuses and making yourself look like a victim, these people are coming in from a good place then, and they're like, oh, come on, have a cheat day, deal with it tomorrow, don't lose out on all of these things. Whereas if you go in and go, actually, just let me do my own thing. Do my own thing. It doesn't affect you. This is what it looks like for me tonight or today or tomorrow. I'm all right. Just leave me be.
Yeah.
And that makes all of the difference. So are you now happy and confident in yourself to be able to say the word no?
Absolutely, yes. I am happy and confident to say that. That took some time, but I think like what Abs touched on one of the podcasts before, and like once you start saying no thanks, or no, that's not for me, or no, I'm not going to do that, people then start actually listening and being like, oh no, Gem doesn't want to do that, or no, she's not going to, you know, she's not taking that path. But I think you just have to. It's more scary because I think a lot of us are people pleasers and yes, I don't want to upset anyone kind of thing. But I think once you sort of stand firm and start to use the word no, people will listen to you, and rightly so.
Yeah, absolutely. So for all of our listeners, what would be the top tip that you can give them right now?
Oh my God. For me, again, this is me personally, I would reach out to your consultants and use them, because really, girls, all you want to do is help us. And I think on my previous journeys, I maybe took that for granted and didn't use you enough, Lauren, because I just wouldn't reach out, or I wouldn't ask the questions. But now I've put the work in, and it is paying off. I just feel that because you girls have been there and done it, you know what we're all going through. And so that makes such a difference. And, there's never any judgment, and you're always on hand to help and answer questions. And I just feel, show up to your calls, book your calls in. Absolutely. I really look forward to my once a week calls, because we touch base, we go through anything I'm not unsure of. But for me, it's just a must, an absolute must.
And for so many people, having that accountability and showing up is the difference. And I say this to like all of my clients when they come on board. The people that are successful in this are the ones that show up. When I was on my journey, I showed up to every single appointment with Lauren, and 9 times out of 10, we weren't even talking about plan. You just have a chat but you're showing up. I'd have my way in, whatever, talk about my week, but you're showing up. You know that person's there that you've got to show up to then keep you accountable. If you start going ghosty or whatever, that's when you're on that slippery path. And we know it. We know when a client's, they're avoiding the scales or whatever, they're not getting back to your messages. And it's like, don't be ashamed. Reach out. It's better for them to reach out and say, fucked up, what helped me. But so many people are afraid, and that's what we try and come across in this podcast, is we're not scary. We're not here to beat you down and say, oh my God, you're a naughty girl, you've had whatever. No, you're normal. That's human. That's life. That's what happens. These bumps happen. Like, it happened with me and happened with Lauren. Like, it happens with everybody. But showing up to actually say, I need help, please. Because especially for this plan, like it's called the one-to-one diet for a reason, because you get your consultant, you get that support whenever you need it, in whatever kind of shape or form that looks like for that consultant. But obviously for us, it's very hands-on. We're very much mindset orientated. We are going to change that mindset. You know, we're not just going to give you some products and say, off you go, take them and good luck. So yes, people, if you are listening, if you are one of mine or Lauren's clients and you are starting to go a little bit ghosty, we know who you are. Just reach out and let us help you, because we can help you. Promise you, there is never any judgment. I mean, listen to Gemma. She's this is her third time lucky, and she is doing it this time because she is using that support that is being provided to her.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Gemma, for coming on the podcast. It's been amazing. Congratulations on your weight loss journey. You are now working through the steps, which is very exciting, and you're pretty much there. The diet cycle is well and truly being ended.
Well done. Thank you for joining us, Gemma. It's been lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening. If you loved it, don't forget to press that subscribe button and the little bell so that you never miss a future episode. We will be back here with a new one on Sunday at 7 a.m. See you then.